do some technical checks just to make sure my live is working. My last time I went live, it cut me off at 33 minutes, so I want to make sure that this entire live is indeed being recorded. So just give me a moment to check a couple things. All right, cool. So I do see that my live is actually up and working. All right, everybody, welcome. Happy Sunday, Destiny Call Sunday, March 1st, walking into a brand new month. All right, so the last Destiny Call that we had, it was around visualization techniques and actually visualizing the right way. And right where the live had cut me off at, I was walking you guys through really great visualization techniques. So I'm probably going to be the first one that you hear really talk about visualization in this manner. Visualization for me is a completely psychedelic immersive experience. I've never really experienced anything else other than extremely immersive, and you'll understand what I'm saying by immersive and experiencing the depth of the visualization practice. So, first thing that we need to go over is before your visualization practice, you need to make sure you are in easeful embodiment. You need to make sure that your nervous system is already pretty much down regulated and you're at a baseline of ease, right? Our reality is responding to our baseline, not our peaks, not the excitement, not the high feelings, our peaks, and even our lows. It's not responding to our lows or our peaks. It's responding to how we are 98% of the time, our baseline. I have a transmission that I recorded a couple weeks ago on how to find your baseline and shift your baseline so that you can know who you are being, because your reality is responding off of who you are being. It is your identity. Your identity comes first. Your embodiment or your identity comes first. And then from there, it is the experiences of who you believe yourself to be, the type of person that you are. So I want to kind of bring up a practice so that you can kind of feel when you are in ease and when you are in rehearsed positivity or false positivity, forcing your body to be in a positive embodiment when the layers beneath could be anger, rage, jealousy, your baseline. Okay, we want to be paying attention to the body, we want to be listening to the body, and we want to find, where we are in embodiment, our identity. So I want you to just breathe into the body. We can drop in really quick. This is the same way that we drop in for all of our embodiment practices. So I want you just to take a deep breath into the core of your being, into your body. And I just want you to slow everything down. I want you to feel into what the down tempo of your body kind of feels like, because a lot of us are living in a nervous system that's in fight or flight, and that is considered to be our normal. So we have to get ourselves out of that, down regulate the system naturally by breath, and feel what that feels like when you get your system out of fight or flight. So just breathing into your body, you want to come into your visualization practice, ease, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So now that your breath has been deepened, I want you to ask yourself this question. You can ask it out loud or you can ask it internally. Who would I be if I knew this was already handled? And potentially you may have to repeat that a couple times. But the this, who would I be if I knew this was already handled? The this part is your desires, the direction in which you're going. Who would I be if I knew this was already handled? And now, when you drop into that sentence, I'm going to give you a little bit of silence. In this silence and asking yourself this question, you should have felt an opening in your system. It could be small, it could be large. When I start my day with this single question every single day, among other practices that I kind of do, I am not the type to have a 5-hour long morning routine, okay? I have a simple set of questions that I ask myself every single day that set I'd say, the frequency of the day. In terms of listening to my body intelligence and going where I'm guided. So when you are asking your body, who would I be if I knew this was already handled? Immediately, instantly, ease comes in and it starts to be a baseline frequency of it's an exhale. It's an embodiment. Who would I be if I knew this was already handled? All right. That is the ease that you get yourself into. And you can use this question to get yourself into the ease. And then you pick up in your visualization practice from ease, from open, from it's an exhale. You're down regulated. You're exhaled. All right, in the beginning of your visualization practice, we start with an air of peacefulness, of ease, because your subconscious mind is reacting off of your emotions. It's really important when we are reprogramming the subconscious mind, we do it through emotion and feeling. You can be repeating all types of affirmations to yourself, but if you feel tight and rigid around the subject that you're speaking, that is the truth that is going to keep happening, because that's how you actually feel about said affirmation. Obviously, identity work will always trump affirmation work or mindset work, because your identity is your embodiment. And I covered it in the last Destiny call, but your identity encompasses all your belief systems, all your fears. It encompasses your entire embodiment and who you believe yourself to be. Money relationships, all of life, they are responding and circulating around who you believe yourself to be. So if you believe yourself that you are the type of person that opportunities and money flows to them easily, then that is going to be your actual external experience, because it's who you are. You are the type of person who is successful. You are the type of person who is grounded and embodied, free of anxiety and insecurities. It's who you are, right? and all of us communicate to each other through who we are. You are feeling me through the screen, all of the belief systems that I have and all the fears that I may have circulating and evolving my consciousness. It's an embodiment that you're feeling. When you are doing embodiment practices on Opulent Female Body, you're also getting into your embodiment because you're choosing to do hands-on, hands-in practices and exercises that shift. You know, we can shift our limiting belief systems through self-touch, through intuitive dance. There's a lot of different ways. I'm just going to be talking about visualization today because I find it to be a core way that you can reprogram your mind through feelings, and you'll kind of see. So going back to what I was talking about, we start every single visualization practice with that openness of ease, right? There are 3 bullet points that I want you to kind of write down. And if you haven't seen the last Destiny Call, last Sunday's Destiny Call, the one right before this, I want you to watch that because that has the practice of writing in a list through bullet point 10 core points that you're going to stick your visualization on every day. I only visualize 15 to 30 minutes a day. If I'm around my menstruation cycle, luteal into menstruation, my winter, I notice that I want to stay in my immersive visualization a lot longer. So this may change for you depending on however it is. I let myself get lost in my visualizations because it's a full psychedelic experience for me. And when we go through the exercises, I think you'll see what I mean by getting lost in your own visualization. But I want you to write down that the way we start this visualization practice is by starting somewhere nice. This could be a forest or a beach. I want you to write down remembering. This is remembering the memory of it happening. And then gratitude. That's having gratitude, but feeling the gratitude in your body. So the feeling of gratitude, not having gratitude for something, feeling the gratitude of that something. All right? And then you can write down your visuals. Your visuals are going to be the visual of the desired car, the visual of the desired home, the visual of the bank account numbers going up, the visual of the life that you want, that you are endeavoring to create through the power of your power, your subconscious mind and your embodiment, your identity being shifted. All right. So, when I visualize, what does this look like? I have heard people go through their visualization technique and their visualization, and they visualize in a very flat manner. So, for instance, I want you to compare these two. You're visualizing your bank account growing larger and larger. The numbers are going up, they're growing larger and larger. Versus remembering the memory of your bank account statement being larger, being the desired amount, and feeling gratitude for the way money allows you to live your life. Do you see how flat the first option is compared to the second? You have A and B. B is it has a lot more depth. It has a lot more embodiment. It is something that you can feel even more of an exhale on after you do technique B, All right, that's what I mean by there are some people that are visualizing wrong, so let me show you the right way to visualize. All right. So the reason why I feel, obviously you guys know that it's very rare for me to talk about a surface level topic, all right? I like depth. I like going very deep with people. I like excavating all the corners that they may be hiding so that we can pull out the highest potential and then embody that potential. I'm going to tell you about my visualization practice, my entire practice, what I do, and then I'm going to guide you through multiple different prompts that you can use for the future for your own practice. I do want you to keep that 10 bullet point list in your mind though, because it's important. All right. So, my visualization practice, I start with a little bit of O breathing to cool off my system. It just depends. I start with the question, who would I be if I already knew this was handled? If I know this is handled, right? That right there is my opening. I open, I sit, and then I go inward. All right, so the way I do it is I do it throughout my own eyes. So if I am working on shifting my physical appearance, it is through my own eyes. I'm walking up to the mirror, a full body mirror. Through my own eyes, I'm looking at my reflection, and my reflection is exactly how I want it to be. And then, if I'm working on this particular thing, I'm feeling the gratitude for my body. I'm feeling the feelings of what it would feel like, looking at myself in the mirror and feeling beautiful and confident. And uh, that's just like a little piece. I always do it throughout my own eyes. And I talked about that some in the last Destiny call. But this is really important because the subconscious mind does not know any difference. You're going to want to do it through first person view. You're sitting in your desired car, you have your hands on the wheel, you're feeling everything. You're remembering what it felt like to buy the car. You're feeling the gratitude in the body of the car. You're very immersed in it, right? I listen to side chill or down tempo with no vocals. I always listen to music when I'm visualizing because the music evokes emotion. I want to get as much emotion in my visualization practice as I possibly can. And now I also have a sheet of 10 bullet point steps that I go through. I'm not going to talk about the whole list because that is privacy. I'm keeping seed in the ground, unchecked, in the optimal conditions so that it can grow nice and strong into a big tree. All right. I prioritize keeping privacy around where I'm headed and where I'm going so that I can work in the silence and cut out all of the noise. So, in my visualization practice, I always start somewhere nice. I start somewhere that feels the best to me. Oftentimes, the place that feels the best to me in my visualization practice is in my dream home. I have my back on the master bedroom and I'm looking up at the ceiling and I'm reflecting on my life. That is normally, out the gate where I'm starting. I'm reflecting on all of these happenings because it's already happened. It's already been handled. It's already happened. It's already been achieved. Okay? And then I'm letting my body ride off of those feelings because I'm reflecting. I'm reflecting on the memory. Remember when I had told you to write down the bullet point of remembering, because remembering is really important. You're going to want to remember the memory of it happening while you're visualizing, because it's, like I said, the subconscious mind doesn't know a difference. So instead of visualizing the bank account numbers, you remember. You remember when you got all the Stripe notifications notifying you of digital products being bought, whatever it is. All right? It's the memory. Feeling into the memory. Now, the reason why I call this psychedelic, it's very immersive for me. When I am visualizing, my visualizations unfold, and I'll give you a really good example. When I am sitting down and visualizing Opulent Female Body as the entity of the business and where I want to take Opulent Female Body, what I do is I will normally be sitting in my recording studio in the visualization, first person out of my own eyes, in the studio that I like. And I take my phone, I can feel the phone in my hand, and I go to the OFB shop online. And I look at all of the amazing things that are available for people to purchase. Now, here's the kicker. I've rolled up to this visualization piece many times, and I have seen products in the shop that I don't recognize. So then when I'm looking into the product, I'm immediately almost surfing time, and I realize that I need to make that product available. For instance, the product that I had learned from this visualization practice is called Ambrosia, and that will be available soon in the future. I'm not going to talk about what it is, but I got that from visualization. I was sitting on my studio couch looking at my Opulent Female Body shop, and I noticed this product that really caught my eye, and it happened to be one of my best-selling products. I clicked on it, and the whole thing opened up, and I was like, wow, that's actually a really good idea. This is what I mean by immersive visualization. I didn't exactly visualize the shop down to the products that I think it should have. I let the product come and find me, to be honest. I've seen it many times with visualization, where I will go to visualize myself driving a certain car, and all of a sudden it'll switch to almost like a higher voltage embodiment, and then I'm looking at the desired car through a different perspective, and now I realized that that particular car, that particular brand, make, and model of car fits my embodiment better than what I was visualizing. All right? You can view this as an embodiment piece. You can. You know, I'm not for sure at what rate other people are going to experience this very, very immersive experience for just visualizing. But, you know, if you are dealing with endometriosis and you're dealing with really heavy menstrual cycles and not the best ovulation cycles, right? You would form your visualization practice to feeling the ovaries and your womb space and your entire body being in the most optimal embodiment of health. So to me, it feels like a wide embodiment, knowing and visualizing that your menstruation cycle is getting better every single cycle, and that you're listening to your womb, you're listening to the guidance of your womb space, so that you can listen to these messages shift it, and then come out of an identity that experiences endometriosis. You can use visualization a lot of different ways. A lot of different ways. It just, it really, it, it just really depends. It really depends how creative you're willing to get in your mind. Because you want your mind to kind of be like your own playground, because you're actively choosing to program yourself. You're actively choosing to program yourself for wealth, for success, for love, and not letting the external media, television, radio, mass media, mainstream music program you. You're actively choosing what you want. So, my visualization practice is super sacred to me. It's normally done by candlelight, early in the morning before the sun comes up. I have my side chill on, down tempo, and I'm fully feeling it all. So, let us go through some practices where I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So, I want you to close your eyes, and we're going to start off on receiving more money. A lot of people want to manifest more money. I don't even really like the word manifest because it's just been a coined word, but a lot of people would like more money. So let's dive in. All right. All right. Breathing into your body. Get yourself back into an easeful embodiment. Who would I be if I knew this was handled? Let the identity arrive. Who would I be if I knew this was handled? Who would I be if I knew this was handled? Feel that opening. Once you feel the opening, you're going to start by placing yourself somewhere nice. Today we're going to use the forest. You can use the beach. You can use one of your favorite locations in the whole world. You're going to start by placing your body somewhere nice. So we're in the forest. We have our back up against a big tree, and we're sitting there. We can feel the cool air on our skin. We can feel the sun. We can hear the birds. And you're just exhaling here. As you exhale, you're kind of leaning deeper into the tree. And now you're going to remember from this area, one of your favorite locations, you're going to remember when money started flooding your bank accounts. You're going to remember the memory. You're going to remember checking your bank statement. And now this is normal for you. So the ability for you to feel excitement is probably not going to be there, because you are already the type of person that is wealthy. So this is normal. So don't be surprised if calmness, that state of eternal calmness or being calm, kind of stays. So you're remembering checking the bank account, the bank statements. You're remembering it. You are remembering that it's normal for you to be wealthy. All right, now I want you to bring in gratitude. I want you to feel grateful for what the money allows you to do. I want you to feel what it feels like to have freedom in your body, because it's not the dollar bills and the money amount that we want. We want what money gives us, which is freedom, the ability to do whatever we want. You're feeling gratitude and gratefulness for this money. And you're telling yourself, yes, more please. Now the visuals come in. I want you to take your phone in your hand, remember throughout your own eyes. And check your bank accounts and actually see the numbers in there. This is the visual part. You can see all the notifications of payments, all the Stripe payments coming in, all the ways that you use payments. So that is the visuals, right? Now, I'm gonna walk you through a like a mock 10-step visualization, right? And I want you, where I want you to start now is I want you to feel yourself in your dream home. You're laying in the bed. This is gonna be your ideal morning, all right? So we are visualizing our ideal morning now. You're laying in the bed, first person view. You open your eyes, you're looking up at the ceiling. And who are you next to? Your dream wife, dream husband, looking around the room, your dream home. You are in your dream home and you're feeling that. You're feeling yourself wake up with lots of positive energy. You are excited about the day. You're invigorated with life force energy. You feel alive. You feel like you are palpably in your erotic current. You are filled to the brim with your life force currents. All right. Your dream, this is the ideal morning. So you're looking around. Remember, it's through your own eyes. As you're looking at the ceiling, you can go through your own process of remembering. Remembering when you bought your desired car, remembering when you had that opportunity that you've been desiring and it came right to you. You're just remembering and you're feeling it in your body. You're feeling how good it feels to be alive and vital and filled with your life force currents and that overflowing. You're feeling what that feels. This is feeling. You're reprogramming your subconscious body and your entire body to consistently wake up with lots of energy, an overflow of energy, your own life force vitality. That is what you're doing here. And you're feeling grateful for, if you're trying to attract your dream marriage to you or improve your marriage, what does it feel like waking up next to your beloved? That connection that you have with one another. You're going on the feeling, not necessarily a physical, tangible experience, a feeling. Now you're going to get out of the bed, and this is your desired morning. So what's the first thing that you're going to do? And you're just going to start immersing yourself in said activity, feeling what it feels like, the gratitude to be able to do said activity. Walking through your entire dream home, feeling gratitude and grateful for remembering the memory of purchasing the dream home, feeling like what it feels like to be in your desired location, the sun on your face. You want to bring as much detail as you possibly can to your visualization practice because you are immersing yourself in it, and your subconscious mind knows no difference. All right. We're going to go look in the mirror, and we're going to start to change our physical appearance. We're going to look into the mirror, preferably no clothes on. You see your naked body. You're looking at yourself in the eyes through your own eyes in this visualization practice. And you're seeing what you want to see. And you're feeling gratitude for your body, but you're feeling that embodiment. Now you're going to go pick out your desired clothes and go through that entire experience. You're putting on your clothes and your clothes fit perfectly. Now you're going to go through your checklist and just continue to go through it with how you feel, right? Now, all of this is done through listening to music that has no vocals. So it could be lo-fi, it could be side chill, it could be down tempo, it could be slow house, chill house, whatever it is. It just doesn't have any vocals. But do you see how I am not necessarily stressed on the actual visual of the desired car or the actual visual of the desired home, the visual of the desired business and the status of it, the visual of the marriage, the visual of the friendships. I am going after total feeling. That is what I'm going after. I start with a place that is my favorite. I anchor that into my body, all right? Then I go into remembering. I go on into a massive entourage of what it felt like to buy this, to buy that, to do this, to experience that. And I go into the memory, a massive entourage. Then what I'll do is I'll get into gratitude. I'll bring myself up into such a level of gratitude that normally tears will come. Just feeling grateful for it all, to be able to experience it all, right? And then I have my visuals. I have the key points of the way I want certain things to look. So I do not I don't force myself to say affirmations over and over again. I also don't force myself to do my visualization practice, but I wouldn't necessarily call this visualization because half the time my body is showing me a certain area, and I lean into that with gratitude through a visual experience. This is extremely immersive. This is a very different way of visualizing. Like I said, I may be the first person that talks about visualization in this way because I have a whole blueprint. I have a way that I start. I start with somewhere nice. I start with somewhere that feels really freaking good to my body. And then when I'm experiencing that, I start going inward with everything. And then also, not to mention, I start my opening practice with who would I be if this was handled? So there's a formula to this, and you have the formula now. So congratulations. Um, yeah, your subconscious mind knows no different. You want to be actively visualizing the same things over and over and over again. Like I said, sit down, write your 10 sheet, your 10 step, and go through that entire 10 step in your every single day, give or take. Sometimes I don't. Once in my ovulation and my summer phase, I am in creative zone, creative land. I am doing nothing but creating and creating and creating. Um, yeah. Let me see if there is anything else that I really want to jam on. No. Um, yeah, I feel like we have came to a very good area of today's destiny call. What you are going to want to do is hone in, dial in your focus so that you're visualizing the same things every single day and you're creating repetition. I will attach in the description the visualization playlist that I